Blake Production.
Galaxy gang, what's poppin'? So let's do a technical breakdown here. But first, let's talk about this. Galaxy Digital is officially off the TSX. What an incredible era. I can't really say anything else besides I am so grateful for Galaxy Digital. Big thank you to the team. Big thank you to Novogratz. What an epic time to be alive, man. So super grateful for the man. The way I think of it is like Galaxy in the TSX in a tax-free savings account. Come on, man. What an absolute opportunity. I really have no other words to express the gratitude I have for what transpired over the past, since 2019 is when I originally got introduced to Galaxy. But anyways, we're up on the NASDAQ now. Galaxy kind of had its IPO moment. Let's take a look at what we need to be paying attention to here, right? So from a technical perspective, first things first, I think everything looks fine. Now, I know people are going to be like on my case for this because a lot of people on X are extremely disappointed about the price action. I think there needs to be a chill pill taken here. The reason why I'm saying that is because, again, from a technical standpoint, it's been reacting so well to the technicals. It's very difficult, especially from somebody who's like a trader, right? Like, I respect the technicals a lot. Galaxy has been like a play by play, like it's almost textbook the way I see it. Maybe that's just from staring at the chart for like over 6 years, but I think right now is perfectly aligned with what what we should be expecting. This is my worst case scenario for Galaxy, I think. Okay. I don't think we're going to get this far. I really don't. But in retrospect, if this does happen, it'll be a generational buying opportunity for Galaxy. Absolutely generational. So again, this zone here, this is like $10 to $13 USD. It would create another higher low, which we've been creating since October 2023, right? So we have the December 22 low right here. I'm just going to mark some of these out. We have this low right here. And then we've been creating higher lows on the stock for quite some time, like a lot, right? We have a lot of these higher lows. The trend has been our friend with Galaxy. I think that if we get an opportunity to catch a low again, maybe around this $13 area, I think that'll be like a generational buying opportunity. Again, what would have to happen for a drawdown like that to happen? Well, pretty much anything to do with the shit going on macroeconomically. All this geopolitical tension going on. Like anything could happen. Trump could go say something tomorrow morning to nuke the stock. He could also say something tomorrow morning to pump the entire market, right? So I wouldn't really be paying too much attention to the headlines because it's all just distraction. When you stick to the technicals, it gives you this objective perspective on the asset, and then you could ignore all that noise. Now, I know that's not for everybody. None of this is financial advice. I'm not saying to just ditch everything that you're used to. This is just what's helped me over the years. And I've been able to buy Galaxy at the lows and sell at the highs twice. I think what we're going to see here is a generational opportunity. So this is how I'm looking at, if we continue to be bearish, I'll be looking for a potential buying opportunity around the $13 area. I think that would be huge. The bulls coming to step in and showing, that the demand is still there. This uptrend is still intact. I think that'll be a great opportunity. Okay, so I'm going to start this video with, the bearish perspective. When I look at this chart from a bullish perspective, what I see is a beautiful inverse head and shoulders. And again, it's subjective to how you look at the stocks, right? Here's our left shoulder. We break down below, we create the head, right? Spend a long period of time, June 2022 all the way until October 2023, over a year basing in this accumulation range. And then we have this rally to the upside, right? Over here, we have this right shoulder. Now, it's not perfect. Oh, dude, it's not like it's that. This is just how my brain is seeing it. And the neckline up here is where we're at right now. Okay. And if you look back at Galaxy Digital stock, and if you're looking at this long term, okay, I think what we're looking at here is a really good back test of a previous major confluence area. This was a major resistance back in 2021, right? We could barely hold above 22 USD, back in 2021, late 2021. We could barely hold above this range. We've spent almost the entire, most of 2025 in that range above this area, and now we're back here. Excuse me. Testing to see if this is acting as support. Everything to me seems like it's lining up. This range looks a little thin. We did rally extremely hard. This move right here was the announcement of the NASDAQ uplisting. This right here was, an extremely strong move. If we look at the volume profile here, right? Majority of the shares been traded now are at this $25 level. This is giving a nice opportunity for those who, are looking for a nice potential scoop in this bear market. I think Galaxy could be like a gem, a hidden gem. Again, you got to think about this. AI data centers are literally going to be so important in the future. I highly recommend deep diving AI and getting a good understanding of why are we going to need compute. And what Galaxy has is, it's phenomenal. 1.6 gigawatts, I believe. That's like one of the biggest data centers in America. Dude, these guys are going to be raking money in, and the setup they have for that, a back test of this area, and it just so happens to be, it happens to be a point where, Jesus, let me lock onto that. It happens to be a point that also coincides with previous price action. So if we get this kind of correction, or even if we stay in this area, I think right now is a great time to be allocating. If you're buying in this area, you understand the mission. You understand the significance of the moment we're in 2026. 2026 is going to be remembered as the golden accumulation window. If you were paying attention to crypto assets and AI related assets, compute, if you were paying attention to any of these three main themes, you're going to come out howling. You will come out howling at the end of 2026. So this is kind of my thesis here, man. I think everything is lining up. Are we going to see $100 Galaxy? I think it's coming, man. I think this is like some of the last times we're going to be able to buy Galaxy under 20 USD before we get that strong move. Again, guys, it's hard, even I am trying to really understand how much compute the AI is going to need in the future. It's mentally insane to think about. We're just scratching the surface here for what we have. We're going to need so much more compute in order to, think about all the self-driving robots. Think about all the actual humanoid robots. Think about all the applications that can be used, like AI can be used for. That's going to need compute to get done, right? So the fact that Galaxy has one of the largest data centers in America, this is one of the bullish stocks on the market. So if you're a shareholder and you're upset, You need to flip the mindset here. What is happening is quite literally a gift. I'm super bullish on Galaxy. So that's the breakdown, guys. I think right now, in between this area, if you happen to gather shares here, dude, you're going to be laughing like laughing to the bank. So that's the breakdown. I still do think 3-figure Galaxy, 3 digits, that's on the table and it's coming. It's going to happen quick too. Look at this, right? This felt like it was so long. Here we are in 2026 and there's people complaining after we just went over 10x from December 2022 to October 2025. So that's just under 3 years and we had a 16x play. This reset here is going to create the next leg. Okay, so this 65, or right now we're at a 58%, potentially a 70% drawdown could be on the table depending on what's happening geopolitically and all that garbage. We're resetting for another major move here. Okay, this is going to be remembered as like one of the most obvious plays in hindsight. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.